There's an experience that I had a few years ago, and I really want to share that experience with you because it was so pivotal in changing my mind about the power of artificial intelligence. So basically, what happened was that I began to play chess games on the website chess.com, and I was using the chess engine in my smartphone to cheat, right? So I was playing against human opponents, and my ranking at the time was probably 1300 or 1400, which is very low. And then using my smartphone and the chess engine, I was able to climb all the way up to 1800. So that's like 400 points. And, it was just so amazing that I kept defeating human opponents one after another. And I could see that although they were playing very well, it was really no match for them. Like the computer did perfect calculations, and sometimes the computer in my smartphone was telling me to do moves that, I couldn't understand the logic of those moves until a few moves later when I saw that, yeah, obviously in retrospect, that was the right move to make. So, to make a long story short, I felt incredibly good because I didn't have to think at all. I just had to look at my smartphone and, make the moves that my chess engine recommended. And I could easily defeat the opponent. There were a few games where I was really worried because the computer told me to make moves that somehow exposed my king. But when I really looked at it, my king was never in danger because the opponent was never in a position to attack my king. So that's when I began to really have a great deal of respect for computers and for that kind of expert system. So ever since that day, I've been almost obsessed about creating an expert system in every profession and industry because I believe that if you are a professional or if you are a manager or a CEO, etc., and if your work can be understood and can be explained to somebody else, then it is a perfect candidate for programming. In other words, you can create a software program that would replicate the decision making of an expert human being. But in this case, it goes a step further because Stockfish, which is the well known open source chess engine that was created by chess grandmasters, I mean, it is more powerful than the number one world champion in the world of chess, which is Magnus Carlsen. So Magnus Carlsen is the number one player, but he doesn't stand a chance against the standard chess engine. I mean, we're not even talking about Stockfish. Like any chess engine would outperform Magnus. And the best that Magnus could hope for is a draw, and even to get a draw, it's difficult for him to do so. So this tells me that in the near future, or maybe even now, we can create expert systems that can outperform the other professionals in your field or the other competitors if you're in business. And if you have that kind of expert system, it's very much like me having the chess engine on my smartphone, and I was able to outperform all the human chess players on chess.com. And the highest I could go was 1800 because at that point I stopped, doing this kind of thing. But I could have gone all the way up to, 2000 or 21, 22, 23, 2500, and that's grandmaster level. But anyways, my point in this video is that I just wanted to share with you that that event was pivotal in helping me to understand the awesome power of computer programs and especially expert systems. And since that day, I've been almost like dedicating myself to learning more about programming and actually creating software programs and expert systems. And I think that fairly soon, probably before the end of this year, I'll be able to create and release an email marketing expert system that people can download, and it's going to enable them to do perfect email marketing in the same way that I was playing perfect chess with the chess engine on my smartphone.